Welcome to Let's Think About It with Advocates Protecting Children. I'm Maria Keffler.
I'm Erin Brewer.
And I'm May Lyle.
What are we talking about today, Erin?
Oh my gosh. Today we are talking about Jennifer Swain, who is in the UK, and it is just shocking how she has been treated. And in some ways, when I look at what's happened, it almost looks like a Monty Python skit. It's almost something you could laugh at. However, when you think about what's happening, it's anything but laughable. This is a 53-year-old disabled woman who was putting up stickers, in this particular case, putting up stickers about domestic violence. And she was targeted and arrested. She has a mobility scooter. She was roughly, it sounds like, put into the police car, taken to the station and held there for a while. The police got a warrant, searched her home, took stickers and posters.
And they also took a cell phone, didn't they? They took her cell
phone as well as a book. And on the warrant, the search warrant, it says that they're looking for transphobic material. This is really, really scary. This is a woman who has been standing up for women's rights, in no way has been hateful, and she has been targeted. They searched her home, Maria. They took her phone. They held her for questioning, and she doesn't even know where this is going to go. I mean, she was released, but she has she's supposed to show up to the station next month for further questioning. It's very, very scary. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to make the point, the stickers that she was putting up were not even about transgender ideology. They were about domestic violence.
Well, yeah, in this case, she has in the past put up stickers that say things like "No men in women's prisons," which again is not hateful. That's just right. Standing up for women. She has put let's see, kids, have fun with your clothes. You will always be the same sex. Again, in no way hateful. These are stickers that are standing up for women. We have no men in our spaces, adult, human, female, nothing even saying anything about transgender. Humans cannot change sex. These are stickers that are, I think they're wonderfully benign in their messaging, and they're basically just standing up for women's rights.
They're basically just common sense things that got her into trouble for who knows why.
Well, and why am I reminded of McCarthyism?
Yeah.
Why am I reminded? What was McCarthyism?
This is really scary. And initially I thought maybe she lived in an area where there wasn't stickering, and so it really stood out. But as I scroll through social media, it's very clear that there are lots of posters and stickers up in that area. It's not like she was in an area where that wasn't a common occurrence. And one of the things that I saw that just is horrifying to me is, so there was a counter stickering campaign by some trans rights activists. And one of the stickers that they put up, it says, "Shut the fuck up, TERF," and it has a gun. That's okay. They didn't go after that person. They went after Jennifer Swain, who's a 53-year-old disabled woman who is specifically standing up for women's rights.
And there seems to be no hate involved in what she's saying or doing.
This is very much Inquisition level stuff. This is McCarthyism. This is witch hunting. They were watching for a reason to go after her because she has not fallen in line with the party line. This is terrifying. We should all be terrified. This is an affront to free speech. This is an affront to free thought. This is an affront to women's rights, children's protections. This is them coming after women. They're coming after us.
They're coming after women who are standing up for women and children. This is misogyny. I mean, I tend to stay away from using the term misogyny because I think it's way overused. But in this case, they are privileging transgender rights and feelings, their feelings over our basic rights. I mean, they're saying that the feelings of a man who's impersonating a woman are more important than the freedom of a woman to express her concerns about this.
Mhm.
It is so
It's
disturbing.
horrific. And you and I, we all three have been targeted by this kind of thing before. We have not been sent to jail yet, but you just were targeted by a hate blogger. And I mean, I don't like to use this word, but it's the right word. He's a shitpost blogger. He just, anybody who he doesn't like, he goes after and he lies about, and he just doxed you.
These are very hateful things to do. The interesting thing is Maria, I received some death threats, and I received some threats, people trying to get me fired, people trying to get me kicked out of my housing. I contacted the police and they really just sort of shrugged it off, even though the mother of one of the people who threatened me was the one who contacted me with his actual location and name so that I could give that to the officers, because she was worried about my safety.
When we see police going after a woman like Jennifer Swain, it undermines our faith in the police. When you report death threats, legitimate printed death threats, and the police just blow you off, it undermines our confidence in the police. Why are we not being protected? Why is our free speech, our right to be concerned about our safeties, not being protected?
And
I have no answer.
And maybe you can even address this to, this is why you have to be anonymous.
Exactly, because if the minute I were to come, if I were to ever come out in public, people could go, after me, my child, my spouse, and who knows where it's going to end. And when these people are, from what I understand, if a predator ends up in a jail, and has done something to a child, they're a target then. So what action is it going to take? What incident is it going to take for the police to really listen to these death threats that you've had, Erin, and to other people that have had such threats?
And the shocking thing is that even if they do something, we talk about children who have been victimized, women who have been victimized, even if they are prosecuted and found guilty and put in jail, now they can access vulnerable women by pretending to be women and going into women's prisons. This is one of the messages that Jennifer was trying to get out, is that women's prisons need to be for biological women, not for predators and perpetrators who are pretending to be women to gain access to vulnerable women. On so many levels, this case just sort of highlights all of the reasons why women like us are speaking out and standing up, even though it's putting us at risk of physical violence, of getting our jobs taken away, of being targeted, of potentially being arrested and having our homes searched for transphobic materials.
If they searched my home, I'm sorry, May, if they searched my home, they'd find all kinds of stuff. They'd find all of Advocates Protecting Children's books. They'd find our stickers. They'd find our postcards. None of them are transphobic. All of them are based in reality. All of them are based in facts. But because they counter this narrative that the trans rights people have fabricated, it would all be considered transphobic.
And when we're speaking the truth, it's just unfortunate that that's seen as transphobic.
When J.K. Rowling speaks out, that people especially threaten sexual violence against her. And for some reason, that's now okay. They have normalized violence against actual women, and they have somehow made it that women speaking out for women's rights and protections is now violence and hate speech, and now something that's being targeted by police. And this is really, as you said, this is very scary. And again, initially it's easy to laugh at this, but think about the repercussions here. All three of us could be targeted by trans rights activists. All three of us could be arrested if the US takes on the same kind of stance. All three of us could have search warrants. We've already seen platforms being taken down. We've already seen, all of us, I think, have been banned on Facebook and social media for saying something as innocuous as women don't have penises. something that's factually true.
Mhm.
So it is extremely disturbing. I hope everybody rallies around Jennifer Swain. I hope this is a real turning point where people realize how really absurd this is now. A state religion. This is no longer about rights or feelings. This is now a state imposed religion. If we don't fight back on it, who knows where it'll end up.